The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet, with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube, and also on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you are invited to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated across the United States into 12 million additional households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. Welcome to the show. Well, this is the afternoon after the night before, the third and final presidential debate of the 2008 presidential election here in the United States of America between Barack Obama and John McCain. We thought that we would bring in an expert on this area of politics to help us wade through what happened yesterday. Did anybody score any points? And are we any better informed today than we were prior to yesterday's debate? So I have invited, and I'm pleased to have with us, the political correspondent of The Nation, John Nichols. John is a pioneering political blogger. He has written the online beat since 1999. His posts have been circulated internationally, quoted in numerous books, and mentioned in debates on the floor of Congress. John Nichols writes about politics for The Nation magazine as its Washington correspondent. He is a contributing writer for The Progressive and In These Times, and the associate editor of The Capital Times, the daily newspaper in Madison, Wisconsin. His articles have appeared in the New York Times, Chicago Tribune, and dozens of other newspapers. John Nichols is a frequent guest on radio and television programs as a commentator on politics and on media issues. He was featured in Robert Greenwald's documentary Outfoxed and in the documentaries Joan Seckler's Unprecedented, Matt Cohen's Call It Democracy, and Robert Pappus's Orwell Rolls in His Grave. The keynote speaker at the 2004 Congress of International Federation of Journalists in Athens, Nichols has been a featured presenter at conventions, conferences, and public forums on media issues sponsored by the Federal Communications Commission, labor unions, and political and community organizations. John Nichols, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Hey, Gary, it's good to be with you. I think we're going to have to cut that introduction down the next time.
Well, otherwise we won't have time to talk to you, will we? But, you know, I like to inform my listeners as to who I have on the show. I'm looking at today's daily news. It says, has a picture of Obama and McCain taken last night. Says, cranky McCain fails to score knockout blow against cool Obama. Did McCain miss an opportunity to deliver a knockout blow against Obama last night?
Well, yeah, he did, but I think that people have to be careful about what they imagine a knockout blow to be. The fact of the matter is that there was nothing in the personal attacks on Barack Obama that had within it the knockout blow. McCain could have talked about Bill Ayers all night long. He could have talked about ACORN all night long. He could have talked about, you know, a host of those other sort of side issues all night long, and it wouldn't have been a knockout blow. There's nothing. There's not enough there. Had McCain gone back to being the John McCain that frankly a lot of Americans fell in love with back in the late 90s and early part of this century, the maverick, the genuine maverick, and something of a political truth teller, or at the very least, somebody who was blunt about deviating from talking points. I think he might have done very well, and I think he might have come across better than Obama. But he didn't do that, and I'm afraid that headline was accurate. The use of the word cranky. He seemed not himself. I've known John McCain for the better part of 20 years. I've interviewed him dozens of times. Spent a lot of time with the guy, and I frankly didn't recognize that man on stage last night. He had none of the flair, the verve, the style that I think a lot of us have come to expect from John McCain, and that frankly he's got to display if he wants to be a serious contender.
You say, John Nichols, that Bill Ayers and ACORN are side issues, not all that significant, and I would say that Obama, for his part, was very smart early in the campaign by interjecting both Ayers and ACORN into the debate himself in an attempt, and I thought very successfully, to diffuse it some. But for many of our fellow Americans, these are not side issues. Bill Ayers, ACORN, his place of birth, all these questionable accusations about Barack Obama, to them, that is the campaign.
Yeah, I realize it is, and it's sort of something that is frankly very American, let's be honest. We have always dealt in rumors and innuendos at election time. The fact of the matter is, when Thomas Jefferson was running against John Adams back in 1800, the whole campaign was personality based and very, very negative. The truth is, our campaigns today are far milder and far gentler than they were 200 years ago. So this is nothing new. It's nothing unexpected. But where I think it falls apart is that it's been so frequently visited. I mean, we've been over this turf. We know a lot about Bill Ayers. We know a lot about ACORN. We know a lot about the Keating Five. We know a lot about how old John McCain is and the fact that he's had a couple bouts with cancer. You know, we can go through all of these personality-based things and banter them back and forth, but they don't in any way get us near the heart and soul of what this campaign has to be about, which is a crumbling economy, some really, really serious issues that, frankly, I'm not sure either of these